right, everybody. It is Tuesday here. It is a very rainy night in Midtown Manhattan. We're at Columbus Circle, 59th Street. It's a beautiful night, but it is very rainy, so we do have the umbrella. It should be raining for about the next 15 minutes. It's been on and off, but the markets got hammered pretty bad today. Obviously, we have those mega cap tech stocks that are now selling off, and I just sent out the 21st issue of the Behind the Street newsletter to everybody, and it's sort of outlining the timeline of the market, right? So if we think about how the market has played out in 2022, it's been pretty interesting, right? So my thesis in the Behind the Street newsletter that I sent out to everybody is that the markets started to sell off the garbage names, the junk names first. And we can think about the special purpose acquisition companies or the SPACs, the names with no earnings, no sales, no return on equity, just the really, really garbage names, right? And then a lot of the good names started getting sold. But the problem is a lot of the good names did tend to have high valuations, mainly due to artificially low interest rates by the Federal Reserve. So if we think about a stock like ServiceNow or Atlassian, these are all enterprise software companies that are pretty good companies, very, very good companies with good earnings and sales. But when interest rates are very, very low, so in an artificially low interest rate environment, the value of the future cash flows of those businesses are worth a lot more today, priced in the future. But as the Federal Reserve has noticed that inflation is running wild in the United States, I think we had about an 8.9% CPI print. The Federal Reserve has to raise interest rates, and they are going to, supposedly they're going to stop buying bonds, right? I guess that is to be determined. I think they probably will. I think they'd be forced to. That is going to make interest rates go up. And if we think about high beta growth stocks or high beta tech stocks, that a lot of their earnings are priced in the future, as interest rates go up, the value of those earnings are now worth less to investors. So I did explain that, and I also gave a little bit of a forecast to where I think this market is going to go. And we briefly touched on Bitcoin and the housing market. So if you guys want to check that out, please check your email. I did send it out to everybody.
Really?
And if you are not signed up yet, you could type !news in the chat, and the Nightbot will drop the link to the Behind the Street newsletter. So let's see who we have in the chat. We have my one and only good friend, Vinny Castellano from Staten Island. How are you, Vinny? Always good to see you. Buy the book says, hey, Tom and all. Good to see you. Alice says, hey, how are things? Things are going really well. It is a rainy and dreary night in New York. But the weather's actually, the temperature's actually not too bad. It's actually not too cold. Which is actually pretty good. I see Jonathan Richards says, hey, Tom. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see everybody. The rain is just starting to pick up now again. Hey, Chris Beeman. Good to see you. Chris is here from Arizona. So, Chris, I actually saw you on our other stream that we did earlier today. Michelle K is here. The ABX girl says, hi, I got it. Thank you. ABX girl, let me know what you think. Lena Sandoval is here. Says, hello. David M. Ollie Rogers says, Fidelity is including Bitcoin for the 401k. Yeah, so Ollie, Roger, we also wrote about that in the 21st edition of the Behind the Street newsletter. So I gave my thoughts on that. But that is a huge step forward, not only to mass adoption, but also institutional adoption of Bitcoin and other crypto assets. So I think that's phenomenal. Frederico says, hey, how you doing? Dippy D is here. Good to see you, my friend. Or Drippy D, good to see you. Heather says, hey, Tom, and all good evening. Lena Sandoval, Dutchman says, Tom, the earlier stream was fantastic. Well, I'm glad you liked it. So one of my good clients, really, really good friend of mine, known him for a long time. I'm in town doing some work with his company, doing some consulting, and he was nice enough to put me up in a hotel here, so I don't have to travel back and forth to Long Island. So that was really nice. So hope you guys enjoyed that stream. Hey, Herbert says, have the newsletter stream number 2. Hey, Herbert. Awesome. Let me know what you think about the newsletter. Dick Im says, hey Tom, good to see you. Dutchman, Jason is here, says hey there. So we're just going to be doing a quick walk around tonight. Maybe we'll head over to Fifth Avenue, but I'll give you guys one view of the Deutsche Bank Towers, which is right here at Columbus Circle. And then right next to these two buildings, right here is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. Jamel says, watched your stream. I'm new here, and that's where I go to college. The name is John Jay College. Hey, that is my alma mater, I guess. Is that what you call it? I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice as well. I was actually going to be one of these guys, and gals. We support the NYPD, all of our law enforcement. But good to see you. John Jay was a good time. I didn't agree with everything the professor said there, but I had a great experience at John Jay. Chris Beeman says, Tom, I had off today. Well, that's good. So we're walking Central Park South again, Chris. Hopefully the weather is a little bit better than in Arizona, where you are. Dinesh says, hey Tom, say hello to all of your followers. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. So it was a massive, massive sell-off on Wall Street. The NASDAQ down about 3%. But I actually think we're getting relatively close to somewhat of an intermediate term bottom here. And if you want to sort of learn more about the market mechanics, about where I'm going with this, check out the newsletter I just sent out to everybody. But usually it is a lot of the speculative, frothy names that get sold off first. So we talked about the special purpose acquisition companies, like the space companies that Chamath brought public, which I think was allegedly fraudulent. I have to say allegedly. I think a lot of those special purpose acquisition companies was just a big money grab on Wall Street. And many of them pump and dump schemes outright, I think. So those are always the first to go. And then it's actually quality names that get dumped that just have high valuations, because as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, you have PE compression or multiple contraction. So the names that have extremely high PE ratios, those PE ratios tend to get compressed due to the fact that large money managers on Wall Street have to price in Federal Reserve rate hikes. Hey, Sunshine After Rain is here. What's up? Good to see you, Sunshine After Rain. Leo is currently a junior, transferred summer of 2021 from my second year college. A soon-to-be rising senior. Very cool. Class of 2023, law and society major. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, so when I went to John Jay, I majored criminal justice and a minor in economics. But I did take some forensic accounting classes, which actually were quite helpful with securities analysis and stuff like that. But that's awesome. Congratulations on your success. Hey, British Gray is here. Good to see you. British Gray is joining us from Tampa, Florida. So this is Central Park South, 59th Street. But I want to show you guys this building right here, and this is 157. And hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman actually owns one of the apartment units here. I think he overpaid for it. I think he paid $80 million for it. But Bill Ackman is very famous for making over $1 billion during the 2020 COVID crash by buying swaps, which are derivative products on the S&P 500. But he gave a lot of those gains back with his ill-warranted investment in Netflix. Stock got hammered after losing about 100,000 subscribers. The first ever quarter where Netflix had net negative subscriber growth. Hey, Sabi's here. Good to see you, Sabi. Production says, Tom, go to 70th. I think we're not going to go to 70th tonight. We're just going to stay around Central Park South for now. going to be a short stream, maybe only an hour. Because we started late tonight, guys. We started late. The ABX girl is here. Savi, good to see ya. Nirvana fan 500, welcome. Sadiq says, hi Tom, how are you? I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. Just checking out a lot of these billionaire apartments here. So the building to your right with the golden top is Ken Griffin's building, 220 Central Park South. But the one right behind it that's actually much taller is the brand new Central Park Tower, which I think is really cool too. Daniel G is here, says good evening Tom, good evening everybody, good to see you Daniel. So Daniel is joining us from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'd love to visit sometime. Samantha R is here, welcome Samantha R. Always a pleasure to see you. And I actually saw you earlier today on our I guess you could call it like a midday stream, I guess. Otto is here, says hi Tom. Gregory says evening, thanks for the newsletter. No problem, Gregory. So Gregory, let me know your thoughts on the newsletter. I took a little bit of a different approach this time, and I wanted to give you guys a lot of useful information in terms of like infographics and what would you call them? Interviews, I guess you could call them. Yeah, Production says there's a great article about one of the Central Park Towers, tons of issues. That may be 432 Park Avenue. So 432 Park is a fantastic building, but it has so many issues with the elevators, and there's actually multiple class action lawsuits against the developers too. Hey, Two Wheel Freedom says Ken Griffin left Chicago, right? So I think their main headquarters is in Chicago, but Ken Griffin's main residence now is in New York City at 220 Central Park South. We actually may walk directly past it. Tom Conway says that's been the highlight of your. Good to see you, Tom. RJ says Olaf from Colorado. Good to see you, RJ. Hey, the Mighty Bull is here. Good to see you, Mighty Bull. Hope you're doing well on this rainy day in New York. Daniel G says, are you staying in Long Island? Not tonight. So I'm actually staying in the city again tonight. So I'm in town for business, and one of my clients was so kind to actually put me up in a hotel so I didn't have to make the commute. So I'm going to be staying in the city tonight as well. I got to be back in the city on Thursday to do a presentation at actually my old office, 1166. So it'll be nice to get to see everybody back in the office. It'll be awesome. But this is another beautiful hotel here, the JW Marriott Essex House. I think it's also residences as well, private residences. Really beautiful inside. Hey, sunshine after rain, good to see you. So check out the inside of the Essex House, beautiful lobby. Robert says, hey Tom, are you staying at the Essex House? I'm not staying at the Essex House, but I am staying at a hotel very close to Columbus Circle. But it's good to see you, Robert. Hope everything is... I think I saw you earlier today too, Robert, on the stream. RJ says, Tom, do you score tickets for F1? Ooh, no, I didn't. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be back in Miami for the Formula One event, but I'm going to see. I'd actually like to, so maybe I'll make some plans. Hey, Andre says, New York City landlords talking about 1 year 6.5% raise, 9.5% for 2 years. Damn. Yeah, I mean, the housing market and the rental market has been really tight, really crazy. The only thing I guess you can call a little bit of piece of good news is, maybe not really good news, but interest rates are going up. So if you talk about it, you think about that 30-year fixed rate mortgage, I think it's almost approaching 6% now. I think over 5% since the first time since 2011. But in the newsletter that I just sent out, I actually talked about the US 10-year Treasury yield a little bit, and I actually included an infographic of a chart of the US 10-year Treasury yield going back to the early 1980s. And I did a little bit of analysis on it, and it was so interesting to see where the historical trend for interest rates are right now. And if history is a guide, it should tell us that interest rates actually may turn around and go lower. I know that's crazy, but check out the newsletter and let me know what you guys think. I just sent it out to you. WW, good to see you. This is dang Tom, you started the stream really late. Yeah, I was pretty busy. I wanted to get the newsletter out, and I was also finishing up a presentation I have to do very, very soon. Mars SoCal is here. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Beautiful art gallery here. This is actually my old building, 106 Central Park South. Just the guy says, I agree with the take on the interest rates. Good to see you, Just the guy. So this is actually my old building right here. Frank Gonzalez says, hey Tom, good evening. Is it me or motorbikes are not too frequent in New York City? Oh, they're frequent. I think it's just raining tonight, but during the summer, a lot of those guys go gangbusters with those dirt bikes. I think the majority of them come from the boroughs, but it's almost, a lot of people don't like it, but I actually think it looks kind of cool, to be honest. I think it looks kind of cool, them ripping through the streets. It's fun sometimes. I also like a lot of these e-scooters. In Miami, we see a ton of the e-scooters. But this is 59th Street and 6th Avenue, everybody. Hey, Disney cast member is here. Good to see you. Long time no see. Hope you are well. Hope you're settling into your new place and everything is going well for you. Kev Bear says, hey Tom, it's Jackie M. Hey, Jackie M, good to see you. Frank Gonzalez is here. Just the guy says, I bought a house in 2019, Tom, for $652,000, and my neighbor's house that is identical just sold for $1.3 million. Oh my God. So if you don't mind us asking in the chat, where from? Or what location, if you don't mind us asking. So based upon that information, are you thinking of selling, or you kind of just want to stay put, or what are your thoughts? Hey, Charlie Richardson is here. Good to see you, Charlie. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this rainy night in Manhattan. Jose is here. Good to see you, Jose.
And I don't care, whatever.
So we'll continue on our walk down Central Park South. This is 6th Avenue right now. Beautiful dog. And we are walking past the Ritz-Carlton now. Hey, Sean Brown, what's up? This is New Park Pizza in Howard Beach. You know, I haven't been to Howard Beach in a really, really long time. But my grandparents are actually from Ozone Park area, which is not too far. So I'll have to take a trip out to Howard Beach. But good to see you, Sean, and thank you for the support on the channel. I haven't been to Howard Beach in a minute. Aussie says, good evening from Australia. What do you think, Tom, for the Australian economy and commodities going forward? So I think we may be near a cyclical top for crude oil. So Aussie, I'm not sure if you are signed up to get the newsletter, but I answered a lot of those questions in the latest newsletter I just sent out all of 15 minutes ago. So if you type !news, N-E-W-S, in the chat, and click the link that the Nightbot will drop, if you punch in your email, I'll send you a free investing newsletter where I sort of give all my thoughts on that. But this week, I actually wrote a little bit about an Australian software company called Atlassian. The ticker symbol is TEAM. The CEO is Michael Cannon-Brooks. I think he's one of the greatest tech CEOs to ever live. aside from, Mark Benioff and Gates and all them. But the overarching theme of the newsletter was that when the overall general trend of the market cracks, fundamentals sort of go out the window. And the reason for that is because the vast majority of stocks will follow the overall trend of the market. And that's why there's always that old saying on Wall Street that you're always a genius in a bull market. Everybody's a genius in a bull market. But whenever there's a bear market, as Warren Buffett says, when the tide goes out, you'll see who's swimming with no pants on or no swim trunks on. Hey, Phil P is here. So stock market crashed again today. Why? Well, I think for a plethora of reasons. I think that the kings and queens are now falling. And when I mean the kings and queens, I mean the mega cap tech. So you could talk about Google or Alphabet that reported earnings today. Big earnings miss from Google. Really, really surprising. The only bright spot, so funny enough, you guys are going to get a kick out of this. The only bright spot out of Google's earnings report or Alphabet's earnings report was guess. It's what we talk about almost every night. I won't wait till you guys, I'll just tell you. The only bright spot out of Alphabet's earnings report was Google Cloud Unit. YouTube missed big. Yeah, Robert, you said YouTube missed big. But Wooster Cloud. The ABX girl says it feels like 2006 again to me. Yeah, so ABX girl, I was actually looking forward to this stream because I wanted to ask you about your personal thoughts. Oh, this is the Plaza Residences, by the way. Beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful, authentic places in the city. But yeah, so the ABX girl, I wanted to know your thoughts about if you think this rising interest rate environment, so let's say you want to get a 30-year fix, it's probably going to run you 5.25%. Do you really think that's going to dampen demand of home buying? Or do you think the numbers that we're seeing, at least the preliminary numbers that we're seeing of new buys actually dropping? I think new home sales actually dropped 8.4%. Do you think that's due to rising interest rates, or do you think that's mainly due to the shortage of inventory? I don't know. I was having a debate with one of my friends, and he was saying he thinks the majority of the reason why home sales are down is because of inventory reasons. Love to know your thoughts. Yeah, Robert, that's another good point. Robert says a lot of home buyers are just paying cash. And so that goes into my point. I was talking to one of my friends, and I actually wrote about this in the newsletter as well. In 2008, one of the main reasons why the global economy crashed was because of the crazy amount of defaults. So if you have people buying homes in cash, it's kind of hard to default on a mortgage if you don't have one, right? So take a look at the beautiful crown moldings here inside the Plaza Hotel. It's almost unreal. This is one of my favorite things about New York City. Just the architecture is unmatched in my view. I mean, Miami is a beautiful, beautiful place. I think it's more modern in some sense. Obviously, we do have the Art Deco buildings. But this is just one thing I think that sets New York City apart from any other city on the planet. It's just the character of it. Yeah, Sunshine After Rain is beautiful chandelier. I'll give you another look at it. Hey, Pearl Heart Disciple is here. Disney cast member. Good to see you. Hey, Travis Webb says, great for sellers, bid wars for buyers. I know, Travis, you're right. Dustman says, shortage of inventory and rising rates, in my opinion. Bill G02 says, on your walk, it's really cool to see inside a window every once in a while. Yeah, I agree. The ABX girl says, I'm starting to see it where I am. Condo building just popped up cold. Our condo building just stopped cold. Wow. Hey, Ann R. Super Rich Central Park South. You know, I think some neighborhoods like near Tribeca could potentially have higher real estate values. Isn't that where Jay-Z's new apartment is in Tribeca? Could be mistaken. But let's walk over here. I want to give you guys a shot of the plaza from across the street. And the rain is picking up here again. Hopefully we don't have any wind noise. But here's the Plaza Hotel from across the street. Hey, Matthew P says, hello, good evening, Tom, old chap. Good to see you, Matthew. Welcome. Hey, Mike R says, how is the real estate market in New York right now? So the real estate market in New York is still really, really hot. I think there's specific segments of the real estate market where prices are actually a little bit depressed still. I think more along the lines of like the studio apartments. So luxury real estate is doing really well, but you know, if you go on Zillow, I was actually looking on Zillow the other day, you could actually probably get a studio on the Upper West Side for like $350. And I know a lot of the non-New Yorkers are probably listening to me talking like, whoa, this guy's crazy. 350 grand for a studio? Well, I mean, in Manhattan, that's actually quote unquote affordable. I actually saw one studio, I think it was on 75th Street and West End Avenue, going for $275. I've never seen that. Hey, Manuel says the markets are pricing in the Federal Reserve interest rate hikes coming. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think your thesis is probably bang on accurate there, Manuel. So here is the very controversial 432 Park Avenue building right here. But I think just last month there was a record sale here, 80 million bucks for one of the apartments there. And then I guess in honor of earnings season, so tonight we're not going to really do that much of an in-depth earnings stream. We'll do that tomorrow. Obviously we had two massive names, Alphabet and Microsoft, reporting. Google fell on its face, unfortunately, but you know, as I like to talk about all the time, that bright spot was that cloud computing division. Even though the cloud computing division, I believe, lost about 915 million, comparison to last year, I think they lost like 997 million. So I think overall revenue in the cloud computing unit grew like 44%, and they're losing less and less money every quarter, which is fantastic. Hey, Elizabeth is here. Good to see you, Elizabeth. Welcome. Hey, CWG, this is respect from Kansas City. Love Kansas City. From Kansas City to the Plaza Hotel in New York City. Yeah, Pearl Heart Disciple says Netflix, I know. Hey, Phil P says 10,000 is nothing. Pay bid 20 to 50K easy over lots of places. This is Phil P. Good to see you. Elizabeth. WW says, honestly, would be scared to live somewhere up there. Robert says, 432 Park Avenue penthouses for sale, 169 million. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to pay for that. That's insane. You know, I was reading a pretty interesting piece how the vast majority of all of these mega luxury apartment buildings in New York, people buy them just as quote unquote piggy banks in the sky. So a lot of the units in 432, in Central Park Tower, in the new Steinway building, you know, even though they're quote unquote occupied, right, meaning somebody owns the property, the units sit vacant. You know, it's a lot of Saudi billionaires, Russian billionaires, Chinese money, a lot of Chinese billionaires, a lot of Chinese wealth buying up a lot of the luxury real estate, more along the lines of like trophy apartments. Sort of like investments, I guess. Piggy banks in the sky. Quite interesting. They're doing the same thing in Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. Not sure if a lot of you are familiar with Sunny Isles in Florida, but that is also another location of really, really high value real estate. Hey, Frederico's here. Good to see you. Dutchman. Hey, Michelle McGraw, good to see you. What's up, Michelle? Late night stream, I know. Apologize for starting late, everybody. Dutchman says, Tom, does New York City charge tenants rental tax? They do that in Phoenix or surrounding cities? I don't think so. I never paid rental tax. But any New Yorker, feel free to chime in. Hey, Joe is here. Says, where are you now? We are outside the Plaza Hotel and the Apple Store. This is 59th Street and 5th Avenue. Al J is here, says, hey, Tom and everybody. Phil P says, Google Cloud is last place, AWS, Microsoft Azure are number 1 and 2. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. But it was encouraging, you know, listening to the earnings report or the earnings call. I was sort of in and out of the call. I was kind of busy. But revenues grew 44%. Still losing money, but I think in about a couple years they're going to be profitable. Hey, Laytha's here. Good to see you, Laytha. So thank you to anybody who joined us for that midday live stream, sort of the coffee and chill, as I like to say. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more of those live streams. Anytime I'm going to take a break at work, maybe I will, you know, whichever office I'm working from or wherever I am, I'll just sort of put a 24/7 type of stream and people could just chat in the comments just to kind of hang out. If you guys enjoyed that today. But here we have the Apple Store. Apple is also reporting earnings, ticker symbol AAPL. Hey, Samantha R says, I love the midday live stream. They're good for study sessions. Agreed. Hey, Mohammed, what's up? So Mohammed's joining us from the one and only Malaysia. Good to see you. Travis says it was a great day break. Agreed. So I always show you guys this right here. So these look like little mushrooms, but they're actually kind of mini portals where you could see inside the Apple Store. So if you ever come to the Apple Store here in New York City, it's a 24/7 Apple Store, but the entire store, I was gonna say the majority of the store, the entire store is underground, right? So check this out. If you actually go into the portals here, you can see people shopping. Here, let's check out another one. Maybe there's more people over here. Nope, no people in that one. Here we got some people for you guys. Yeah, Layla's like no people again. It's also kind of hard to see because it's so rainy out tonight. Hey, Saeed, Healthy Foods says, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum to you too. Thank you for the blessings. Peace be upon you as well, my friend. I appreciate that. Hey, John, welcome. Says hello from San Diego, California. Love that. So this building here, everybody, is the Steinway building right here. Hey, for the love of God, says skateboard when you get back to Florida. We will. I promise it's coming. I promise. Rich NYC is here. Good to see you, Rich. Frederico says, is Mac open right now? Yeah. The Apple Store is open. This one is 24/7. Good to see you, Santo. Welcome. So everybody, just as a quick reminder, I did send everybody the Behind the Street newsletter, so please check your inbox. If you check your inbox, check your spam folder. I did send out the free financial newsletter. If you are not signed up to receive it, please scan the QR code on your screen and it'll take you to the Behind the Street landing page where we talk about the US equities markets, emerging markets, the housing market, and cryptocurrencies every single week. I'll send you a free investing newsletter if you scan the QR code. And the topic for this week's newsletter, we were talking about sort of the way the market sells off. And usually the very high beta, high growth names with no earnings or no sales, they tend to sell off first. So we were talking about, a lot of the special purpose acquisition companies. We did a deep dive into Richard Branson's SPAC, which was a huge failure that I think lost a lot of people money. I think there's going to be intense litigation there, which we'll cover as the newsletters go on. And we will also explore some asymmetric risk opportunities that I think could generate significant alpha for all of us moving further into 2022. So feel free to scan the QR code to sign up, or if you type !news, NEWS, in the chat, the Nightbot will drop you the link. But I'll give you guys one more shot of Billionaires Row here. Hey, Ken Glass says, hi Tom, glad you think positive. Rough week so far, indeed. Indeed it was. The NASDAQ alone was down about 3% today. And this is something we've been covering a long time on the stream, because it's something that's called a very thin market. So when a market is very thin, right? So knowing that the S&P 500 is a market capitalization weighted index, what that means is it can sort of deceive naive investors that are very new to the equities market or the stock market, because essentially what happens is the top 10 stocks in the S&P 500 make up almost 30% of the entire weighting in the index. Wow, look at that truck. So what this means is those trucks are loud. Those are crazy. So what that means is a lot of the stocks under the hood of the market, so like a regular stock that is not a $1 trillion company, a lot of those stocks were already getting beaten down and hammered, but a lot of investors didn't notice it because indices were trading near all-time record highs. But what we're seeing now are the big names, as I like to call them, kings and queens, are starting to roll over. Google's starting to roll over, or Alphabet. Apple is starting to roll over, Nvidia, Tesla. And once those 5 stocks roll over, that's when you really see it in the indices. And we saw that today with the NASDAQ selling off hard, down 3%. A lot of traffic for almost 11 o'clock at night in New York. Hey, Bob says, I would think that those ceilings portals would be a potential security problem to the Apple Store. Yeah, I mean, you may be right, but I think everything there is pretty much bulletproof glass. And also, I believe there's security there 24/7, 365. I mean, the store is open 24 hours a day. John Kennedy says, is Tesla a good buy today below 900? So the way I sort of go about investing and trading, and I'll show you guys the clock tower here outside of the Trump Tower. There's an old saying that you should never buy stocks that are in a downtrend, because stocks in trend usually stay within trend, right? You really want to wait for those key particular stocks that you're looking for to start setting up basing patterns to break above their 200-day moving average. And you want to look for signs of institutional accumulation. So you don't want to buy a stock in a raging downtrend, because that's what's called trying to pick a bottom, or bottom fishing. I think if you want to get exposure to Tesla and you want to stay more diversified and you have a longer term time horizon, maybe just consider buying an indice like the S&P 500 or something like that, depending on your age, because knowing that the S&P 500 is a market capitalization weighted index. Tesla makes up over, I think almost, what is it now, 5% of the index? I think it's just Tesla. I think Apple is almost 7% now. So really high weighting. Hey, Ron Metro TV is here. Good to see you, Ron. Welcome. Hope you're well. WW, what's up? Disney cast member. Justin Walker is here. Good to see you. Bob says, Tom, I thought maybe people could watch transactions or something and zoom in. I don't know if criminals would want to go through those extreme lengths to do that, but I suppose. But I think the vast majority of transactions are via Apple Pay, so there's really no numbers disclosed. I see Lewis here. So speaking of that, I think that's an interesting topic. So currently I'm using the Gemini credit card. And I think one of the interesting things about that is it has no numbers. There's no numbers on it. So it's not like anybody, even if somebody takes a picture of my credit card, nobody could sort of steal my credit card numbers. And thinking about it, why isn't it always like that? Why doesn't credit cards just print just blank cards, right? I mean, it's not like we're actually using the credit cards to, you know, when we go out to eat, giving the waiter or the waitress our actual card number. We're just swiping it or tapping it. It's the same thing with e-commerce payments, right? I mean, once you upload your credit card to your Apple Pay once, you know, it's sort of like one-click checkout in a minute. Hey, Lewis is here. Good to see you, Lewis. So let me know in the chat if you guys could see the rain. The rain is starting to come down pretty bad. So Strider, it is digital, but there's also a physical one as well. Justin is lucky today. When I always start to watch, it's already on archive. Hey. Yeah, so we did start the stream a little bit later tonight. I did have to finish a couple presentations for work, so. And Alphabet reported, so I was pretty occupied with that. In addition to Microsoft. Rich NYC says, can I see it? Love it, good to see you. I don't think I have it on me. I'll have to see. Santo is here, good to see you. I love that dog, by the way, in front of us. Big fan, very bullish on that. So I'll show you guys 432 Park Avenue. This is one of the most famous addresses in the city. So Michelle McGraw, what it is, the Gemini credit card, it's just a regular credit card that you could spend on anything, but the cash back, instead of getting cash back in US dollars, they actually give you the cash back in Bitcoin, which I think is pretty unique. Wow, but check out the clouds check out the building with the clouds in the background. It's insane. Definitely looks like Gotham City here. Hey, Lewis says, Tom, I received your newsletter. I will read it tomorrow. Thank you, Lewis. Yeah, check your spam folders. For some reason, I've been having an issue with it going to spam. I always like the front of this building, too. So this is 432 Park Avenue. You said, question, do you happen to know how my son could get an internship with Golden? Funny. Hey, Robert White, good to see you. Mike C, what's up? This is the lighting on the building makes it look like it digitally drawn. I know, it's insane. Hey, Vom is here. This is amazing streams. Thanks for the live streaming. Really looks like Gotham City. Cheers from Boston. Hey, thank you for watching from Boston. So it's funny, my brother lives in Boston now. He really likes it. I haven't visited him yet, but this is also one of my favorite things about 432. So they built this outdoor park here for the tax break. I mean, out of the goodness of their heart. And the marble here, it looks stunning in person. I'm not sure how well it comes out on the streams, but in person it looks really, really stunning. Wow, that's a crazy shot. That looks awesome. Let me know if you guys could see the raindrops coming down from the sky. Hey, Justin says, Tom, is this 4K live streaming? Unfortunately, it is not. I am actually working on that, but I think it's going to cost too much money. Hey, Arctic Trend, good to see you, man. Abodos says, hello, everybody from Argentina. We have a lot of Argentinian viewers. Good to see you. Oh, no, from Algeria. Sorry about that. Wow, you're watching at 4:22 a.m. Thank you for watching. But if you guys also want to connect with us on Twitter, you could follow at Walks Wall Street. That is where we interact the majority of the time during the day when we are not streaming. And you could also join us on Discord. Hey, British Grey, good to see you. DM says, hello, Tom. I can see the rain. Good to see you, DM. Theresa Roberts is here. Welcome. Fernando says, hello, Wall Street. What happened to Tesla? I am from Argentina. Yeah, Tesla got hit hard today. So I think one of the main reasons why Tesla sold off and sold off hard was because investors, mostly on the institutional side, is probably not happy with the way Elon Musk structured the Twitter deal. And here's what I mean by that. And I wrote about this a little bit in the newsletter. If you want to read the newsletter, check it out. But so essentially, in order to collect some of the funds, I think it was about $16 billion or 15.5 or $16 billion of the 44 needed, Elon Musk actually collateralized a lot of his existing Tesla shares. So he used his existing shares as collateral to help fund the Twitter deal. And I think a lot of institutional investors did not like that decision. Perhaps that's too much counterparty risk there. So that's probably one of the reasons, but I'm not too sure. But man, this building is insane. And it's so solid too. So we are standing literally right under 432. And I believe one of the apartments in here, one of the penthouses, is selling for $169 million. Insane. Hey, Captain Super says 432 Park, the tallest residential building in the Western Hemisphere, saw its first official recorded sale in January when the 35th floor apartment changed hands for $18 million. Wow. Hey, Mohammed is here. Khalid, what's up? This is hello from Egypt. You know, that's probably one of the most anticipated places that I want to visit is Egypt. So hopefully I will be able to maybe see you in person in Egypt. Hey, Adam is here. Says hello from Los Angeles. Just tuned in. Says, do you think the S&P drop is forecast poor earnings? Well, I think what, like 20% of the S&P reported so far? But I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit to see how all the other companies report. I mean, we did hear from Alphabet today. A little bit disappointing. YouTube revenue was down big. Well, I mean, it still grew, but it came in well under analyst expectations. And funny enough, the only sort of bright spot in that earnings report was what we talk about all the time, which was the Google Cloud unit. Microsoft had a pretty good quarter. Azure revenue was good. But I think the most anticipated earnings report is going to come from Apple. And that's going to be later this week. This is one of my favorite buildings here on Park Avenue. But you guys know my favorite building, which is down here. My favorite building is further down here, called the Seagram Building. Hey, Tree Service Roble says, hello from Ontario. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Jared Covey is here. Atomic Skittles has just joined. Late stream tonight. Yeah, it's a little bit late stream. I had to get the newsletter out to everybody, and I was working on a couple presentations that I have to do for tomorrow. Britta H says hello from Germany. Love Germany. Love Germany. Mike C says would love to see the pyramids. That's my life goal. I think I will be able to die happy if I could see the pyramids in person. That is one of my favorite things that I want to do. So one more view of 432 and then we will head out. Atomic Skittles, yes, 432, we're looking at it right now. I don't even think we could see the whole building because it's hidden in the clouds. And this is the outdoor space. It's actually a public outdoor space here at 432. So whenever there's a major real estate development in New York City, you'll notice, or oftentimes you'll notice, there's actually a public space here. The real estate developers are not doing that out of the goodness of their heart. The reason why they're doing that is because they want to get the big tax break, which I respect. I definitely respect it. Hey, Michelle says, I would love to see the pyramids too. Yeah, I'm probably going to plan a trip to Egypt relatively soon, actually. I think it'd be an interesting surprise. Exploration says, don't plan on taking pictures or videos in Egypt. Very strict rules. Yeah, I'd probably leave my phone at home, honestly. I think I would want to totally focus on that experience. I think the thing that intrigues me the most about the pyramids is just, it's really an engineering marvel. I mean, if you think about how they constructed the pyramids, if there was just one sort of stone that was off, even a little bit, even a teeny bit, the whole pyramid is thrown out of whack. So based upon the time it was built, how in the world did they ever do that? So fascinating. Hey, Jonathan Kelly says, it's hard for me to go anywhere without my phone. Yeah, that's true. The ABX girl, thank you for joining. Much appreciated. I know it was a late night stream tonight. Apologize. Fantastic Frankies says they must have used really large ruler. I know. I just wonder like the logistics of getting those big boulders or those concrete slabs or the stone slabs or whatever they're called. Wonder how they got them all the way up there. Yeah, Junior says Egypt was the New York City of their time. Agreed. Hey, Alton says, hey Tom, how's it going? It's going good, Alton. Good to see you. Mike C says tax breaks for public spaces is a good way to keep the city nice. I agree. So if you want to see another one, right here. So the atrium right here, this is actually the atrium outside of the Trump Tower. And during the day, You know, I think they closed it for COVID, but it may be open again. Let's check it out. But I actually used to spend a lot of time in this atrium. Sort of hanging out. Yeah, open to public, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And this is the atrium. And the Trump Tower is right in here. So you can actually access the Trump Tower through here. Hey, the investigator, what's up? Says Walks in Wall Street. Anytime we can listen and learn with you is okay with me. Thank you. Hey, Cynthia Beals says my friend's old office was there. Layda, I agree. I actually used to get espresso right here back in the day. This was pre-COVID. Hey, FredX is here. FredX is like, Tom, not saying it was aliens, but it probably was. I think you're right. Hey, Ali Star says, hey Tom, just checking in. Late tonight. Yeah, we had to start late. Apologies for the late stream. Hey, Jonathan Richards says, Tom, I like your late night stream. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Hope everything is going well in your world at work. Hopefully you're closing down some big deals. Yeah, today was a hectic day. Let's just put it that way. But hectic is good. Hectic is good. Yeah, cooking, says Tom, there must be some nice rooftop bars. Eugene says, send my regards to the beautiful women of America. All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for that. I'll be sure to let him know. Greg says, late night stream is the best stream. And it just stopped raining, which is good. So we're not getting rained on. All right, everybody, east, 56th Street and 5th Avenue. Cheryl's here. Now it's a party. Good to see you, Cheryl. Char Steph says late night is good for the people on the West Coast. You know, that is true. I never really thought about it like that, but West Coast is a normal time for you guys. So we're streaming for all of our friends out in California. So let's walk down 57th Street. I think there's going to be some interesting things to see over there. Patricia Ivory. Hey, S is Cincinnati, Ohio watching. Good to see everybody from Cincinnati, Ohio. If you guys are enjoying the streams, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We do these live streams about 5 days a week. Hey, Ali Star says, yeah, Manhattan after rain at night is truly magic. Love walking. Good to see you. Thank you. Hey, Junior says, Tom, you see Brad today talking about SEC versus Ripple. Hope he can get this settled with some clarity on crypto. It's the second industrial revolution. Your thoughts? So here's something interesting about that. So let me talk about Grayscale for a second. So Grayscale is trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved. And for anybody who doesn't know what a spot Bitcoin ETF is, it essentially allows the exchange traded fund to get exposure to the physical asset of Bitcoin as opposed to the futures based ETF. So there's always so much confusion out there, and I think we could thank Gary Gensler for this. There's always so much confusion about the Bitcoin ETF. When is the Bitcoin ETF going to be here? And many people are already saying, oh, we already have a Bitcoin ETF. We don't. What we have is a Bitcoin ETF that is predicated on the futures contract of Bitcoin. So here's why that is horrible, and I think those products are garbage. Why would I buy an ETF that's essentially a double derivative product? Right? I mean, if you really think about it, right? And a derivative, if we just think about what a derivative is, it's just something that bases its value on an underlying asset, right? So if we're talking about in the options market, a call contract derives its value from the underlying shares of the common stock. So for example, one call contract will give you the option, but not the obligation, to own 100 shares at a specific price at a specific date. So you have the option, but it's not the obligation. You're not obligated to it. So a futures ETF is you're just buying an ETF product that speculates on the futures contract of Bitcoin. I mean, in that case, you might as well just buy the actual physical thing. And it's actually probably more risky for investors than to just buy an ETF that actually holds Bitcoin. So I don't really understand the SEC's thinking about that. But usually the SEC is behind the curve. I think at some point we will have a traditional spot ETF. And I think it'll probably happen this year. I believe there's one in Canada. Hey, Penelope is here. Says, hello everybody, I'm late. As usual, hope everybody's doing good. Good to see you, Penelope. We are walking New York City on this very, very rainy night. So Penelope is joining us from Tennessee. It's always a pleasure. Just a Guy says BTCC. Is that the ticker for the Canadian one? I forget. Robert Muhammad says, hey Tom, good night. Hope all is well. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hope everybody's doing good. Bonnie Hudson is here. Says hello. Good to see you. What's up, Bonnie? Just the Guy says that it is. Yeah, and so here's something that's really interesting. The United States is really supposed to be the leader in financial markets. And I think the vast majority of other regulators around the world really base their regulations off of the SEC. So to have the SEC be so behind the curve is almost kind of embarrassing for the United States. So cheers to the Canadians for getting that one right. 432 Park Avenue in the clouds, insane, looks beautiful. NMB 045, good to see you. This is Tom, I'm late. Thanks for the beautiful view earlier today. It was great. Hey, NMB 045, thank you for joining on our midday stream. So NMB 045, if you are just joining us, please check your email, because I did just send out about an hour ago the 21st issue of the Behind the Street newsletter, and we covered a lot, so I think you're going to want to read that. So please check your spam folder and all that good stuff. Hey, Jared says Australian spot Bitcoin ETF launches next week. Yeah, you're right, that it does. So Jared, we also had some pretty good news out of Fidelity too. Fidelity is coming out saying that they are going to allow their 401k clients to custody Bitcoin in their 401ks, which I think is fantastic, which is going to act as an amazing tax haven. So definitely agree with Fidelity's decision on that. Big news. But I think in the short term, I actually think Bitcoin needs to correct to its 200-week moving average. That would imply a sub $30,000 Bitcoin. I think if we have the blessing to be able to see sub 30,000 Bitcoin, great opportunity. In my opinion, not financial advice. Oh, this looks like a new place. This used to be all abandoned and closed down. Hey, Cheryl says, I just got done reading your Behind the Street newsletter. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Much appreciated. Atomic Skittles says, is it windy in Manhattan tonight? I can only imagine the skyscrapers swaying in the wind. It's a little bit windy. It's not too bad. But let me know if you're picking up any wind noise in the microphone, because I don't have the mic tonight. But here is the Steinway building. Hey, speaking of Canada, we have Canada's finest, Mark Davis, in the chat. What's up? Good to see you, Mark. Mark is our medical marijuana expert in the chat. Always good to see you, Mark, and thank you for joining the midday stream. It was good to see you during the day. Yeah, Ali Star says, yes, newsletter is in the junk folder. Just fix that problem, hopefully. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to migrate away from Review. So I'm using Twitter's sort of platform that they acquired, Review. I think I'm going to migrate to Substack, because so many people tell me that the newsletters goes to the spam folder. Michelle McGraw says, no wind noise. Sounds good to me. Awesome. Hey, we have the one and only Action Kid. Good to see you, Action Kid. Hope you're well. Says, how is Alphabet's earnings reports affected as YouTubers? They probably had a lot of competition from TikTok. Yeah, so the CEO of Google said that, to your point, AK, but here's one of the things that they did say. And very seldom do I use YouTube Shorts. I'm not sure if you do. But supposedly, the number of creators utilizing YouTube Shorts and the viewership has gone up, I think 50%, he said, or like 47%. And YouTube is making a big push towards YouTube Shorts to compete with TikTok. Now, YouTube ad revenue wasn't down. I think it just missed analysts' expectations of growth. But then again, if you think about it, here's sort of how I conceptualize that. If we think about that big miss, I think it is really predicated on the amount advertisers are willing to spend. And we are coming off probably the biggest digital advertising boom in the history of the world, right? Ever since COVID, the vast majority of advertising dollars were spent online. So in 2020, 2021, advertisers spent billions and billions of dollars pouring ad revenue online because everybody was at home looking at their phones, watching YouTube. So I think you're just seeing a little bit of a dial back in advertising spend. And as we potentially go into recession here, Deutsche Bank, a lot of analysts at Deutsche Bank are actually forecasting a recession. If we do go into recession, I think you're going to see advertising dollars fall off a cliff. But the only bright spot of Alphabet's earnings report, or Google's, was the Google Cloud revenue. So check this out, guys. And Action Kid, I'm not sure if you've ever been here. Supposedly this is a cigar place where you could just come in and sit and smoke cigars inside. I mean, I hate smoking. I think it smells horrible, but this looks so cool. It looks so unique in here. Yeah, you could just come in here and smoke cigars inside. That's awesome. I'm not a smoker, but it looks cool. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they like YouTube Shorts. Hey, Jimmy Anderson, what's up? So Jimmy Anderson is here, the host of the Beer and Bets podcast. Good to see you. Joe Long says they need a liquor license. Do they really? I didn't know that. Hey, Marty Lewis, good to see you. So Marty, I gotta ask, did you get a chance to go swimming today or no swimming? For some reason, every time Marty Lewis pops in the chat, I always associate Marty Lewis with swimming. She always says, just at the bus stop, headed back from swimming. So hopefully you got a chance. Phil Peace's cigars smell great. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. It sort of gives me a headache. I don't know why. Ooh, I want to read that comment. I think it was Ron Metro TV. Hey Jose, this is at my work. I was testing review and really disliked it. I used a WordPress plugin and it had been great. Yeah, Jose, I gotta figure that out. I really gotta figure that out. I think I'm gonna migrate to Substack. Are you familiar with Substack? Action Kids says, I don't really use YouTube Shorts, but I'm noticing a drop in views across all the YouTubers who aren't publishing shorts. The algorithm must be pushing them. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I don't think I've ever posted a YouTube short. But look, I mean, I think that is where... So, answer me this. I'm not sure, because I've actually never watched one, I don't think. Do you see an advertisement when you watch or before you watch YouTube short? I don't think so, right? It's sort of just like you scroll down. I mean, I could be wrong, but I would assume there's probably no way to actually watch an advertisement. Is there? I don't know. Wow, Marty Lewis is for the third time. No swimming. Ooh, Marty Lewis. All right, guys, this is the flagship Hilton Hotel, one of my favorites. Marty Lewis is Tom, third day in a row not swimming. I had my hair cut and blown out, so I didn't go. Going tomorrow. Nice. Awesome, Marty. Love that. So, Marty Lewis, I'm going to ask you. So, usually when you go swimming, what do you swim? Just laps? Ever since I moved to Miami, I'm trying to get in a routine where I wake up extremely early and swim some sort of laps in the ocean. I think that's going to help a lot. Disney cast members says, Tom, I have YouTube Premium. I never see advertisements. I have posted shorts though. Ah, gotcha. Action Kids says, I've never seen an ad because I use YouTube Premium, but I don't know how they can monetize shorts. Yeah, maybe it's the majority of it is brand deals, but I think that's the creator monetizing, but I don't know how. I don't know. I'll have to do some investigation into that. Ren1018 says, Tom, read the latest edition of your newsletter, outstanding. We'll be rereading tonight. Hey, Ren10, that really means a lot. I appreciate it. So if you guys are enjoying the newsletter, feel free to share it with a friend or a colleague. So I'm actually in the process of sort of making a referral program for the newsletter. I think that would be something fun to do. So I'm building that now with one of my friends. So essentially I want to make a program where if you refer, let's say 5 people to the Behind the Street newsletter, I'll send you an exclusive Walks on Wall Street coffee mug or something like that, just to make it fun. I don't know, that's still in the works. Let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Ooh, we're walking past the Halal Guys, which smells amazing. I haven't gotten that in probably about a year. Hey, John says, shorts are YouTube's version of Instagram, Reels, and TikTok. Yeah, you're right. And on the earnings call, they said that YouTube is going really, really big into shorts to try to compete with TikTok. I think, like, what is it called? Like the micro content? Hey, Golf Endeavor is here. Good to see you, buddy. Says, hi Tom, great to catch you. Hope you're doing well. Great newsletter. Appreciate it. So Golf Endeavor, if you're ever in Miami, Florida, please let me know. I'm gonna get you into the Normandy Shores golf course. I know you're a huge golf player. I really want to see you play that course because it is so beautiful. So if you're ever in Miami, if you ever visit the United States, let me know. I will get you in. Hey, Michael Wells Jr. is here. Says, hey Tom, it's been a while. Hope all's well. Yeah, so Michael is actually one of the managers at the Whole Foods at Union Square. So Michael, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Mark Davis, as always. Roy S. says, I can print out the newsletter so I can show it to my boss that watches the stream during work hours is good activities. That's funny. Well, thank you, Roy S. Yeah, Yogi says, Tom, don't make it too easy to game. Someone is gonna have a room full of mugs. That's hilarious. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Well, I think there's a way for us to check the validity of the email address, perhaps, so somebody doesn't just create, 25,000 Gmail accounts, and then I have to send out 25,000 coffee mugs. Although that would be hilarious, a little bit tedious. Yeah, Gregory's like, if you're watching YouTube Shorts, I hope the ads are short as well. So I'm not sure. So when you guys click on the stream, like for example, if you click on this stream right now, do you see an advertisement? I think I actually disabled monetization for this stream because it's going to be a relatively short stream. But usually when you click on the video, does it show you an ad or is it more like a pop-up style ad? Hey, Old Tape Archives, in my opinion, YouTube Shorts are for attention span. Adel Gen Z, much prefer longer content, i.e. 10 minutes. I agree with you as well. So I was thinking about this actually the other day because I don't have TikTok, I've never used it, and I can never see myself getting into it. I just can't. But then I'm thinking like, look, I don't know. I'll leave it at that. I just can't get into it. But that seems to be where the trends are going, right? And as a trend follower in the stock market and things like that, you have to be watching where movements or where attention is going. You don't want to be holding common stock of the horse and buggy stock when Ford Motors is coming out with their internal combustion engine cars, right? You want to be on the right side of the market. So I don't know. I'll think about it a little bit more, but I just can't get into it. Pacific Desert Raid says, Tom, they'll even put ads on a 1-minute video, which is ridiculous. Yeah, that's true. Friona says, I want to shout out my ugly city of Seattle. I'd much rather live in New York. Appreciate that. Seattle's not too bad, but here's the thing. I don't think I could ever live in Seattle because even, growing up in New York, I tend to get seasonal depression. It's a real thing. I'm not joking around. It's a real thing. Usually right around the end of February is when I start to get a little bit seasonally depressed because every day you wake up, it's dark. You go to sleep, it's dark. You go to the office, it's dark. I don't know, it weighs on you a little bit. I think that's one of the reasons why I bought a place in Miami is because, I guess that happens in places all over the world, but I don't know, I kind of like the sunlight a little bit more. Laytha says, I have seasonal depression disorder in Manhattan by the end of January. Marty Lewis says, I've heard good things about Seattle. Yeah, Seattle's a big tech city too. WW says, seems like you're pretty good at handling it too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and when I mean seasonal depression, I don't mean like I'm actually physically depressed. I just mean I feel like very lethargic, right? So I wake up, I don't have too much energy. I don't really want to go outside. I just want to stay indoors. Hey, Cosmo Scary is here. What's up, Cosmo? Cosmo, late night stream. Yeah, Savi's like, same here, Tom. I only like sunny days. I think New York is good for mental toughness during the winter because the reality of it is not every day is going to be 70 degrees and sunny. So you got to power through. I'll let you guys listen to the fountain for a little bit. Disney cast member says snowing here right now. Oh my God. Disney cast member. Well, you like the snow, don't you? Cindy Foley is here. What's up? Hey, Salim. What's up? Salim Muhammad says, hey bro, did it really snow upstate New York? Salim Muhammad, I'm not sure. I mean, Disney cast member lives in upstate New York. And she's saying it snowed, so I guess it did. Yeah, Michael says, hey Tom, one of these days you should show everybody Roosevelt Island. You know, we may do that over the weekend. I'm thinking about that. I think it's a good idea. Mark Davis says, Tom, you near the favorite building, the Seagram building? So Mark, Seagram building, if we walk straight down here, you got to go past Fifth Avenue to Park Avenue and then up. So not too close, but we definitely could make the hike over there if we wanted. Robert White, good to see you. Cosmo Scary. Yeah, Cosmo, it's still raining out here. I think you said you got caught in the rain earlier today, too. Yeah, DM says, I love the fall and the winter. I don't like the heat. Yeah, I think everybody's different. You know, I think I'm really weird. I like it extremely, extremely hot and humid. Iowa Oaks says, Tom, the best financial tip I could offer younger people is save enough money in your working years so you could have a warm weather residence in the winter. Winter is no fun. As you get older, found out the hard way. I think that's a pretty good piece of advice, Iowa Oaks. I would have to agree. Thank you for sharing that. Salim Muhammad says, Tom, I miss New York so much. Salim, you got to come back, man. You know, I think the city is going to be absolutely rocking, on fire this summer. I'm excited about it. I think a lot of tourists are coming back. We heard from earnings reports in the financials, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup. If we do a deep dive into the credit card and debit card transactions, all the Wall Street investment banks are saying that spending is shifting from traditional consumer goods to experiences. So that means more people are going to be out traveling and the like. And I think that's showing up in airline earnings too. You know, we heard from United, we heard from Delta, and for the first time since COVID, airline revenue is back to all-time record highs last seen since 2019. So I think the city is going to be rocking this summer, which will be good for the economy. Hey, Caddy is here. Cindy Foley is here as well. Good to see you, Cindy. Welcome. Hey, Salim, Tom, my country is summer all year long, so I'm really missing the snow. Cosmos says, Tom, I read an article that Times Square is like 80% plus as busy. Or 80% more busy than 2019, or only 80% of capacity? Hey, Junior says, Tom, the holidays were booming in New York City, so expect you're right about the city will be busier for the summer. Yeah, I mean, let's hope, right? So in the summer, usually you'll see crime uptick in the summer, not only exclusive to New York, it happens everywhere. But I think if the city could really hammer down on that, things are going to be really, really nice. Because this, you know, usually things get a little wild in the summer in New York. So I think if we could really crack down on some of the crime, I think things will be good. So check out this view of 432. My brain is shot today from all my meetings. I completely forget the name of the building. How's that possible? One Vanderbilt. There we go. Just the guys says, Tom, do you think the offices will return to 100% capacity again? I don't think so. I think it's going to be mostly hybrid, to be honest. Hey, Solo is here. What's up, Solo 401? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Michael Welch says, Tom, my sister works at Pret a Manger support offices, and they are all virtual. Hopefully I pronounced that right as well. Man, they did a really good job on the tulips here. But everybody, could we do a quick time check in the chat? Because I did start the stream late and I have to get to bed on time. And we are already streamed for an hour and a half. Can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh my gosh, 12:03. Guys, so apologies, but we're gonna have to power down. I know, hold back the tears. I'm holding them back as well, but we'll see you tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow, and I think that's the important thing. So everybody, thank you for joining once again. If you want, I just sent out the Behind the Street newsletter to everybody. So if you scan the QR code on your screen, it's going to take you to a landing page. Punch in your email, join us over at the Behind the Street newsletter. And we will see you in the next one. And please check your inbox, check your spam folder. Sign up for the Behind the Street newsletter. I think you're going to love the insights, the financial insights. And we'll see you all in the next one. Han says, no, I just came on. Ooh, apologize. I gotta head to bed though. But we are gonna be on normal time, so 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We are going to be doing probably a 3-hour stream covering all of the major earnings of Microsoft, Alphabet, do a deep dive. We'll also cover what we discussed in the newsletter. So everybody, thank you so much. Pacific Desert Raid, Iowa Oak. If you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. And to the Mighty Bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere, and you just need to know where to look. And I'll see everybody right back here tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Shot by Scott, good to see you. Laytha, For the Love of God. Raul, Pacific Desert Raid, Cosmos Scary, Samantha R, Golf Endeavor, much appreciated. Old Tape Archive. Otto, all of our moderators, thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Penelope, good to see you.